So I've got this awesome RGB gaming headset from Corsair, and you shouldn't buy it. Ever. Or any variation of it for that matter. Coming up. What is going on, everybody? This is MaceValor, and this is the Corsair Void Pro RGB USB gaming headset. And it's very bittersweet. I'm gonna get the good thing out of the way. The sound quality in these bad boys is fucking amazing. Okay, now I'll give you guys a sense of what the audio is. I know you can't really get the same feel unless it's actually on your head. So I've decided to go on my computer, put up a song real quick, and I turn the volume all the way up. So it's completely maxed out on this bad boy. And let's check it out. The build quality is relatively solid for the price that I paid, $50 USD from Best Buy. The microphone is actually really good. It's got like this built-in noise canceling, but it always picks up any breath, oddly enough. Any background noise, it's perfectly fine of getting rid of. But the moment that everyone in the fucking world can hear it. So to give you guys an indication of the mic quality, this is me talking to the mic right now. It's actually not that bad. I really enjoy it. People can hear me relatively clearly, but as I stated, yeah, so for the most part, the microphone's pretty relatively solid. It's pretty badass. I like it. It's dope. And that's probably the only good things I can say about it. So the TLDR, build quality is fantastic. The mic is amazing for, what it is. And the actual sound quality, the drivers built into the headset are actually really solid. And I really like it. There are actually different sound profiles built into it. So just by pressing in the volume knob will put you in different modes for different types of surround, or even just different equalizers so it's easier to hear the chat and stuff like that. The Corsair Utility Engine, that's the actual software that you're going to be utilizing to actually get the most out of your Corsair gear, which it's actually pretty in-depth, it's pretty thorough, that works with a lot of different stuff, but the moment you pull it up, it's pretty much all just ads for their other products. You gotta make sure you can find it, which would be right over here, the Void Pro USB. And it's relatively interesting because there's a lot of different things you can go into. You can customize the EQ presets. You can, and these are the different modes that if you were to press in, it changes into these different modes. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can adjust them however you want. So if you want to change your sound profile on the fly, that's actually relatively cool. The software of it actually works really good. The RGB is a joke, though. So essentially, you get these different colors and stuff, but I don't really get a sense of different colors as you would with like Razer gear, for example. It's more so just different levels of brightness that are attached to... fuck me. So it never really feels like it's coming through any kind of different colors. It's more so different layers of brightness with colors. But there is actually a pretty good array. But I always thought that RGB on a headset just feels kind of daft, don't you think? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's not something you're ever really going to see. One of the cool things I find is, so if you go up on here, the Corsair Utility, this is where you're going to be doing all your different color schemes right here for your headsets. Relatively very intuitive, very simple. And there's all these different, for the RGB in this, they did kind of, the utility kind of makes it, that's what really gives it its presence. So we have our just static color, just stays there all the time. We have a nice little blinking effect, and then of course you can change the rate when it's doing that. I haven't been able to find like any kind of like setting to where it's like, oh, if I'm playing a game, it will automatically know that what game I'm playing, when my health is down, stuff like that. But it doesn't really matter because you're never going to see it anyway. So it's really kind of this ambiance thing. There's different modes for breathing, and then there's this one for beat, and it would be really awesome if it could have some sort of link to music. I believe Lightning Link is the actual piece of the software that links to the Corsair RGB keyboards. The software works, relatively good. Not really too many issues. Decent amount of effects and stuff that you can choose. But those are all the nice things I can say about this headset. Let's take a moment and put this bad boy on, right? It actually looks kind of badass. It looks exactly like what you would expect the gaming headset to look like. It's got the right contours in the right spots. It's got like this somewhat ergonomic design to where when you fit it on your head, it would just feel wonderful. And yeah, I guess that's probably the middle of the road for me. The excellent build quality does add to the fact that it does feel nice on your head, but that's kind of for a limited time. You see, the number one problem that I have with this headset is getting it to feel right. There's padding on the headband, there's great padding on the sides. I never feel like my ears are being squished in or anything. Like my head does not feel some sort of strain from having this on. But the problem that I have is this. With some gaming headsets, you would come down over by the ear cup and it would adjust down here. The fact that it's kind of like this whole band design is actually kind of nice, so where it's right up in the top. The problem that I have is that these don't click very securely into place. So if I just, were to adjust it real quick, that seems right about me, and if I were to put it on, it's nice, it's wonderful, it's comfortable, I can barely even feel it there. But give it a while, in a nice intense gaming session, I'm live streaming, I got different stuff going on, and the little wiggles will start to happen. And then, it's like, oh, well, if it wiggles, why don't you just tighten it? It's like, all right, I'll tighten it, but then at that point, it's really uncomfortable. And it will tighten, and it will just wiggle even more. So I'll put it right back where I'm supposed to be. I can deal with a little wiggle from time to time. But eventually, these little clips of where it comes into place will slowly slide. And then it's just too much. But it's not so much that they click out of place. That, what I would say, would probably be the second reason why these are horrible. The number one reason, which kind of goes back into the build quality, which is stellar. These are decently built, but this whole ergonomic shape, like when I put it around my ears, and I have big ears, I feel relatively nice and contained. I don't feel suffocated or anything like that. But because of the way that they're contoured, it's very easy for these to come kind of down like that. And then I'm gaming like this, and it's just hell, and then I gotta readjust and all this jazz. It's just so frustrating. With the way that these are designed, you want to put them back further on your head. Kind of like that. This I would believe is like the ideal scenario for the way that they're shaped. But you come into the same issue, they'll slide back. And then you put it in the next optimal position where it's not very clear in accordance with the way that the actual headpiece is shaped. But then, eventually you'll get the slide forward or back. And the reason why I bring it up, and the reason why I say you should not buy these, is because of the fact that it moves too much. Now that might sound like the most shit fuck all reason in the world, but hear me out. It all comes down to the way that these are shaped. They're cool, they're awesome looking, but there's no sense of center in it. Everything's offset in such a way to where it looks cool, and it's contoured in such a way to where it's like, oh, that should feel wonderful on your head. And yes, initially it does, but it just, not a single piece of this headset knows where it wants to stay. I really would like to say that this, especially for the price, it's an amazing headset, but there are other headsets out there for comparable prices that you could definitely check out. One's from Logitech. The Logitech G430 is very comparable to what this is, and it's actually cheaper, but the build quality is not as solid. The bonus of the Logitech G430 is that it will at least stay on your head. The downside is that it's not the most comfortable, nor are the ear cups shaped in such a design like this, where the shape is just phenomenal. I love how I put this on and it itself kind of disappears. But then within 10, 15, 20 minutes, I'm fucking with it. Now, for a retail price of $49.99, yeah, definitely buy it as a gift. But if you're gonna purchase it for yourself, I would say save up some cash and get a different pair. Obviously, this is probably the nicest pair of gaming headphones I've ever owned. I've owned some nice Turtle Beaches, which the sound quality is fantastic on those, the mic quality is good, but because of the round ear cup design, they don't feel as good on my ears, but at least their bands like to stay in place. Don't buy these. I probably would have set aside some more money and gotten something a little bit better, but they do feel better than like the Razer Krakens. Are these the worst headphones in the world? Absolutely not. Are there better ones, especially for the price? For the most part, yeah. But would I say that these need to be thrown away in a garbage? Hell no, the sound quality is amazing, and for the most part, I can deal with some of the issues that these present. I just wouldn't recommend them to anyone else. Now, is it so bad that I feel like I need to go out and get a new pair of headphones? No. It's manageable, but it is an annoyance to where it just does not fit on my head. Now, this might just be coming from me because I have a somewhat egg-shaped head, especially under all these beautiful locks. So it could just be my user experience. But I would be excited to see these guys in the future because from what I've seen so far, there's a lot more pluses and minuses. The minuses just weigh a lot more heavy because it impacts my actual gaming experience. If you want to see me use these actual awesome headphones in practice, I stream every night at 8 p.m. on Twitch. I mean, I stream other times too, but my scheduled time that I'm always on is 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Twitch, which link is in the description down below, as well as the Patreon, of course, which if you want to support the channel and see more amazing cancerous garbage fucking trash fire content like this one, please consider donating. As always, this is your awesome, beloved, and glorious MaceValor, and as always, be Valoris. It's MaceValor, signing off.